A crackling static pulse tears through the silence. In a dark, cluttered apartment, the transmission erupts from a forgotten radio. A distorted voice pierces the air. They're already here. For a breathless second, everything stops. Then the city screams. Sirens wail in the distance. Whoa, in the distance. The TV flickers violently. News anchors stammer through confusion. The protagonist, Aaron Vale, a 33-year-old ex-military communications analyst, stumbles back from the screen, breath caught in his throat. Static overtakes every broadcast frequency. The voice repeats, now clearer. "We've been waiting for you." Panic hits the streets like a tidal wave. Phones buzz with encrypted alerts. Government systems flicker. The internet collapses. Aaron's fingers tremble as he reboots his terminal. On the screen, a symbol, unearthly, shifting, alive. Pulse races up his spine. He isn't just watching this. He's a part of it. Outside, the sky churns with electric clouds. A city-wide blackout surges. The voice returns again, softer this time. "We remember you, Aaron." Time fractures. Nothing will ever be the same. Aaron Vale stumbled backward, breath shallow, heart racing like a war drum. He clutched the edge of the table, his legs weak. "We remember you," the voice had said. How? Why him? He hadn't touched military systems in over 5 years. Still, he recognized the pulse signature. It wasn't just encrypted, it was alive. The walls seemed to breathe. His monitors flickered again, now showing coordinates. Arctic Circle. Why there? Why now? His chest tightened. Memories of failed classified missions clawed at the edges of his mind. He thought he'd buried them deep. No, Aaron muttered. The voice had found him again. He slammed the power off. Nothing. The screens stayed on. Alien tech had overridden his system. A soft hum echoed through the walls. Was it in his head? The air felt thinner. "They're already here," he whispered. The silence that followed was more deafening than the static. Then the screen blinked once more, with a live satellite feed showing a shadow descending on Earth. A shape. At one fall. Not natural. Not human. Not stoppable. In the heart of Washington, D.C., deep within a secure underground bunker, red lights flashed silently as agents scrambled through encrypted communications. The transmission was spreading. Not just audio now, video, language, data. It was rewriting systems. General Klein, 58, African-American, gray crew cut, stood over a digital map covered in symbols no one could translate. "This isn't first contact," he said. "This is execution." The room fell silent. Around him, advisors stared at monitors bleeding code. A young analyst stammered, "Sir, it's speaking to someone directly. Someone named Aaron Vale." Klein's eyes narrowed. "Get him." The urgency surged. From the Arctic to Shanghai, global communications were being hijacked. Satellites blinked out. Intelligence services collapsed. And yet, someone had been chosen. Klein stared at the code. It looked like a target, but not for weapons. For memory. He leaned in. "Why him?" he muttered. What did he forget? Above them, seismic readings pulsed. The earth itself was trembling. Aaron ran into the hallway, barefoot, soaked in sweat. Neighbors peeked out from cracked doors. "Did you hear that?" one woman asked. But Aaron ignored them. He could still hear it, in his bones. A subsonic frequency humming just beneath reality. He took the stairs 3 at a time, reached the roof. Cold rain struck his face. He looked up, and froze. A tear in the sky shimmered, refracting light like broken glass. Lightning didn't strike. It hovered, looping in impossible patterns. A massive silhouette loomed behind the clouds. The signal was no longer a whisper. It was a scream. Aaron fell to his knees, the sky filling his eyes. Not human. Not technology. Something older. Something awake. His mind fractured against it. This isn't invasion, he whispered. It's return. And then, silence. The clouds sealed. The air calmed. But Aaron knew it wasn't over. It had just begun. Somewhere deep in orbit, an entity observed Earth's pulse like a predator watching prey stir. In its synthetic chamber, it hovered, motionless, aware. It was no emperor in the human sense. It was legacy, incarnate. Memories stitched to stars. Its consciousness streamed through billions of silent satellites, now active. Its voice reached Aaron because Aaron's blood remembered. The chamber pulsed once. The shape of Earth reflected in its obsidian eye. The seed has awakened, it thought. Initiate contact, phase 2. Below, humanity had no idea. Not yet. But the countdown had begun. The entity turned toward a display showing Aaron's face and genetic profile. It had waited generations for this anomaly to resurface. Not an enemy. Not an heir. A key. The entity's cold mind activated the first fleet. Earth trembled in its orbit. Phase 1 was complete. Aaron stood alone in his apartment. The humming still in his ears. The alien glyph now imprinted in his mind. He stared at the screen, hands clenched, heart pounding. "What the hell do you want from me?" he whispered. No response came. Only silence, thick and deliberate. Outside, the city had changed. Roads were deserted. A curfew had been declared. Soldiers patrolled the streets in silence. Aaron remembered that silence, combat zones, where death crept slowly. He turned away from the screen, heart heavy, mind clouded. A knock shattered the silence. 3 hard raps. Military rhythm. He opened the door to find Mira, a 29-year-old intelligence officer and former colleague. Pale, drenched, eyes sharp. "You need to come with me," she said. "Now." Before he could respond, 2 black-suited agents flanked her. Aaron stepped back. "What's going on?" Mira didn't blink. "You've been activated." His pulse surged. She added, "You're part of something buried, classified beyond clearance." Aaron whispered, "You mean the signal?" She nodded once. "It chose you." The black SUV moved through the ghostly cityscape, windows tinted, interior quiet. Aaron sat beside Mira, still processing. She handed him a tablet showing classified files. Alien language decoded, planetary seismic shifts, encrypted voice logs. "They've been here longer than we've existed," she said. "Some of us tried to stop them. Others helped them." Aaron scanned one file, Project Echo. His name appeared. Twice. "I was scrubbed from this," he said. Mira replied, "No, you were hidden. The vehicle passed checkpoints. Soldiers didn't salute, only scanned. Something was changing." "They knew you'd come back," Mira said, voice low. "You saw something during the Antarctica mission, something no one else survived to speak about." Aaron turned sharply. "That mission was buried." Mira nodded. "And now it's resurfaced." A siren wailed in the distance. Aaron's fingers curled into fists. He didn't remember all of it, but what he remembered terrified him. "What are we heading into?" he asked. Mira looked forward. The place it all began. The SUV stopped before an abandoned military outpost just outside the city, a ghost of a place long erased from public record. The gates creaked open as armed guards waved them through. The facility was rotting from the outside, but Mira led Aaron through its corridors like she'd never left. They entered a locked chamber. In the center was a stasis pod, cracked, old, but humming. Inside, a humanoid figure frozen in silver-blue crystal. Alien, but eerily familiar. "It's been here since 1987, Mira said. "Recovered during the original encounter." Aaron stepped closer. The creature's features were blurred, but unsettlingly close to human. "It looks like..." He trailed off. "You," Mira said. Silence pressed around them. They've been building us, she added. Or remaking us. Echoes of something older. Aaron reached for the glass. His fingers hovered over it. A soft pulse responded from within. The creature's eyelids fluttered, then opened. Golden eyes locked on Aaron. It knows you, Mira whispered. The alarms didn't ring, but the silence shattered. As the creature's eyes opened, data streamed violently through the room's old servers. Screens flickered with alien code. Mira raised her weapon, but Aaron stopped her. It's not attacking, he said. The pod hissed. The crystal casing cracked. The being stepped out, barefoot, tall, fluid in movement. Not violent. Not afraid. It looked at Aaron and spoke. You are the fragment. The words were clear, human, yet carried an echo like ancient metal grinding in deep caverns. Mira whispered, It's speaking English. Aaron backed up. What are you? The being responded, I am what you were meant to become. Before they could react, the facility's lights dimmed. An explosion rocked the surface. A breach. Mira shouted into her radio. No signal. The entity turned toward the wall and etched a glyph with one motion. A doorway opened in the concrete. You must come now, it said. Aaron hesitated, but Mira grabbed his arm. We're in it now, she said. And they stepped through. The tunnel behind the hidden door led downward, far deeper than the known base layout. Smooth walls, pulsing with faint energy, hinted this place wasn't made by human hands. We're beneath the city, Mira said. This wasn't mapped. The entity walked ahead, silent, graceful. Aaron's breathing grew ragged. The walls spoke, low hums, voices from the past. Echoes of languages he'd never learned yet understood. Memories returned. Cold wind. A broken facility in Antarctica. Screams. The glyphs. The thing buried in ice. The entity paused and turned. Your blood remembers, it said. They erased your mind, but not your code. Mira stared at Aaron, now pale. He collapsed to one knee. Images seared into him, alien ships, endless war, a planet that burned. They used me, he choked. The entity nodded. And they will again, unless you stop them. Ahead, a door opened on its own, revealing a vault of alien tech. Everything starts here, Mira said. And maybe ends here too. The alien vault opened not with sound, but with a wave of cold air and memory. Aaron stepped into a chamber carved in impossible geometry, walls lined with relics that pulsed faintly, alive. This isn't technology, he said. It's something else. Mira moved beside him, eyes locked on a floating monolith that emitted a low harmonic tone. It's a memory archive, she said. The entity nodded. Echoes of your forgotten truth. As Aaron approached, the monolith responded to his presence, projecting scenes from his buried past. Antarctica. Operation Echo. Screams. A child, him, standing inside an alien vessel. He gasped. I was there as a kid. Mira's eyes widened. You were part of it all along. The projection showed soldiers dragging him from the wreckage, while a commander ordered a memory purge. That man was General Klein. Aaron's knees buckled. The betrayal cut deeper than bullets. He knew, he whispered. They all knew. The entity turned to him. Your pain is the key to their undoing. In a secure underground command center, General Klein watched the same feed Aaron had just triggered. The monolith had linked directly to Black Ops surveillance networks. Klein's expression was unreadable, hands clasped tight behind his back. Activate failsafe protocol, he ordered. An aide hesitated. Sir, that means, do it, Klein snapped. Deep beneath the Pentagon, programs initiated, ones designed not to stop the aliens, but to eliminate the memory bearers. People like Aaron. Back in the vault, the lights dimmed. Mira's comms burst to life, filled with static and one terrifying phrase: Klein authorized elimination. Aaron turned to her. He's going to kill us. Mira's voice cracked. He thinks you're the leak. The entity's tone deepened. This was always their plan. Aaron looked up. He's been playing both sides. Mira nodded. We trusted him, he used us. Outside, drones activated. The hunt had begun. Inside, Aaron touched the monolith again, unlocking something worse. Coordinates leading to where the real control node was hidden. The facility shook. Explosions echoed above. The drones had found them. Mira pulled Aaron behind a reinforced console as shrapnel rained down. They're not trying to contain us, they're trying to erase everything, she shouted. The entity raised its hand, forming a shield from light, deflecting debris. This place was not meant for war, it said. Aaron locked eyes with Mira. We have to get to those coordinates. Mira nodded, bleeding from a shoulder wound. We're not going to make it out unless we disable Klein's override. The entity moved toward the exit. Follow me, there's another path. They navigated darkened tunnels, avoiding drone fire. A metallic screech tore through the walls. Mechanical sentries reactivated. Aaron found a hidden panel, powered by alien energy. He pressed his hand against it. The wall shimmered, then revealed a staircase spiraling downward. Another layer, Mira breathed. Aaron gritted his teeth. One they didn't know about. They descended into deeper shadow, with death at their heels. They emerged into a cavern unlike anything they'd seen, half natural, half machine. Giant organic towers pulsed with alien life, connected by floating walkways. The air vibrated with ancient energy. Aaron stumbled to the edge of a console made of living matter. This is where they control us, the entity said. Mira examined the signals coming off the walls. This is broadcasting to human satellites. It's rewriting history. Aaron shouted. Then we destroy it. But the entity raised a hand. No, you must expose it. Mira's eyes flicked to Aaron. If we show this to the world, we break the system. Suddenly, a voice echoed from above. You won't make it out alive. Klein's voice, coming through a drone. It hovered, armed and locked. Aaron turned to the entity. Can you stop it? The entity replied. Only you can. Your code is bound to this place. Aaron stepped forward. Then unlock it. Huh? He reached out, and the tower responded with violent energy. The system began to awaken. The cavern trembled with fury as the system activated. Codes burst from the console, flooding Aaron's mind. He screamed but didn't move. The entity placed a hand on his back, grounding him. You were made for this, it said. Memories surged. His childhood, Antarctica, the labs, the genetic edits. He wasn't just a witness. He was a construct. Mira shouted. Aaron! But he didn't hear. The tower scanned him completely. Then it spoke, using his own voice, command rerouted, suppression deactivated. Across the world, communication lines reopened. The hidden truths, collaborations, experiments, sacrifices, flooded global networks. Klein's plan crumbled in seconds. Aaron collapsed unconscious. Mira caught him. He did it, she whispered. The entity turned to her. No, this is only the beginning. Sirens wailed above. More drones arrived. But now, the truth was out. Humanity wouldn't go back to sleep. Mira looked down at Aaron's face. Changed. Pale, Dewa. Marked with glowing glyphs. Whatever came next, he wasn't just human anymore. Aaron woke slowly, his breath catching. The air felt thicker, charged. He lay in a chamber, lit with soft pulses from the alien walls. Mira stood beside him, arms folded, face torn between fear and relief. You've been out for 2 hours, she said. Aaron sat up slowly, body aching, skin shimmering faintly with alien glyphs. What happened to me? Mira stepped back uneasy. You bonded with the interface. You're different. The entity approached, calm as ever. You've been rewritten. Aaron touched his chest, His heartbeat echoed through the chamber. "I'm not human," he whispered. The entity replied, "You were never only human." Images projected across the room, gene charts, DNA overlays, historical photos. "Your lineage was manipulated generations ago. They prepared you for this." Aaron stood, shaking. "So I was engineered." Mira lowered her gaze. "By them," she said. "By the people who said they were protecting us." The walls rippled, showing a family tree, Aaron's bloodline. At the top, a glyph matching the alien emperor's crest. Aaron staggered forward, eyes fixed on the projected family tree. "This symbol," he said, pointing to the ancient glyph. "I've seen it before." Mira replied, "It's the same symbol on the alien fleet. It's not just alien, it's yours." The truth hit like an avalanche. His grandfather, once a field researcher in Antarctica, had vanished during a classified expedition. They never told the family the truth. The projection showed him standing beside alien structures. "He made a deal," Aaron muttered. "Or was taken." The entity's voice came through. "He was the first human carrier. The hybrid line begins there." Aaron looked down at his hands. "So I'm the result of a 100-year experiment?" Mira nodded. "And you were meant to awaken the link." Anger boiled beneath Aaron's skin. "They didn't choose me, they built me." The entity responded, "But you choose what happens next." Aaron clenched his fists. He had been lied to, shaped into a weapon. Now he had to decide how to use it. Far above Earth, aboard the hidden command vessel orbiting in shadow, the true enemy revealed himself. Not alien, not fully human. General Klein stood within a chamber of hybrid design, surrounded by ancient alien tech. "They know," he said calmly. A voice answered through the ship's systems, synthetic, ancient. "Then we proceed." Klein turned, revealing his spine, partly machine, pulsing with alien filaments. "They were never supposed to survive this long," he said. His hands moved across a console, activating holograms of Aaron's bloodline. "His awakening is premature." Across the chamber, stasis pods lined the walls. Inside, hybrid clones. "We were supposed to rise first," Klein muttered. His eyes flared with a faint golden light. "I carried the code long before he was born." The voice replied, "Then overwrite him." Klein's jaw tensed. "I'll erase him from the pattern." The camera moved to the stasis pods, each bearing faces eerily similar to Aaron's. "This world belongs to us," Klein whispered. Back in the alien archive, Aaron paced restlessly. "He was part of this from the start," he said. Mira shook her head. "We followed him blindly." The entity approached. "You are a deviation. They can no longer control the line." Aaron turned. So that's why they want me dead." A low hum filled the air. The entity's expression shifted. "They've activated the overwrite protocol." Suddenly, Aaron collapsed, screaming. His skin glowed bright, the glyphs burning hot. Mira rushed to him. "Aaron." He writhed on the floor, his mind invaded. Klein's voice echoed in his head. "You were a shadow of me, nothing more." Aaron saw flashes, memories not his. Klein's memories. "He's trying to replace me," Aaron gasped. The entity knelt, placing its hand over his chest. "Fight it! Your identity is yours to claim." Aaron's eyes snapped open. He screamed one last time, then silence. His glyphs dimmed. He stood slowly, stronger. "He tried to overwrite me," he said. "But he failed." Aaron stood, breathing hard. The air vibrated with power. Mira stepped back, stunned. "Your glyphs," she whispered. They were no longer random. They had formed into a symbol. The same symbol Klein wore on his back. But Aaron's glowed with a different hue. "He doesn't own this anymore," Aaron said. The entity nodded. "The code is yours now. You are the uncorrupted line." Mira looked at Aaron with a mix of awe and dread. "What do we do now?" Aaron turned toward the central console. "We Finish this. He touched it, and the glyphs expanded into a star map. Dozens of worlds, linked to Earth's fate. One node blinked red. That's the core, Aaron said. If we shut it down, we erase their command. Mira read the data. It's in orbit, his ship. Aaron's voice steeled. Then we take the fight to him. Behind them, the archive shifted, opening a hangar revealing a dormant alien craft. Time to break the chain, Aaron said. The alien vessel stirred as Aaron approached, its surface rippling like water under moonlight. The ship responded to his presence, glyphs lighting up in perfect sync with the ones across his arms. Mira stepped closer, awe in her voice. It's bonded to you? Aaron nodded slowly, feeling the pulse through his bones. It's alive. The vessel opened like a blooming flower, its interior formed of crystalline tendrils and organic fiber. No controls, Mira noted. It's neural. Aaron placed his palm on the inner core. Light flooded the chamber, and suddenly, stars stretched before them. A map. Al. A course. Directly to Klein's command vessel. If we go, Mira said, there's no coming back. Aaron looked at her, determined. I was made for this, but I choose it now. The ship's walls adjusted to their presence, forming seating around a glowing sphere. Aaron stepped in. Time to finish what they started. Mira followed without hesitation. The vessel sealed itself. In moments, they were no longer bound to Earth. The vessel surged through space like thought, faster than any human-made ship. Aaron and Mira sat in silence, surrounded by a shifting interior alive with consciousness. It's reading our intent, Aaron said softly. Mira glanced at him. You okay? Aaron hesitated. I feel like I'm unraveling and becoming at the same time. The ship responded, streaming ancient data into his mind. Galactic war, failed alliances, the first Earth contact hidden in 1902. They've lied for centuries, Aaron muttered. This isn't just about Earth. This is about control. Mira stared at the stars. He thinks he's saving us. Aaron's voice was cold. He's enslaving us. The ship approached orbit, slowing as it locked onto Klein's massive vessel cloaked near the dark side of the moon. We breach, Aaron said. Mira nodded. Then we end it. The ship began its descent, preparing to fuse with the enemy's hull. Every breath held weight now. Every second pressed history into motion. The two vessels collided without sound, fusing seamlessly. Aaron stepped through the breach first, into the dark halls of Klein's ship. Cold. Metallic. Echoes of forgotten voices seemed to drip from the walls. Mira followed, weapon drawn. This place, it's wrong, she said. Aaron's glyphs dimmed slightly. The ship resisted him. He's here, Aaron whispered. The chamber ahead opened like a ribcage, revealing Klein, alone, arms behind his back, standing beside a massive throne, made of bone and tech. Welcome home, Klein said. Aaron's jaw clenched. I'm not yours. Klein smiled. You always were. Behind him, pods pulsed with clones, failed versions of Aaron, suspended in fluid. You were one of many, but you survived. Aaron stepped forward. Because I broke your pattern. Klein turned. Then prove you're different. He opened his arms wide. Kill me, or join me. You already have the code. Silence fell. The choice hung like a blade over both their heads. Klein stepped down from the throne slowly. You think exposing the truth changes anything? Humanity craves obedience. They'll choose order over freedom, every time. Aaron clenched his fists. Then let them choose, but give them the truth first. Klein extended a hand. Join me. Rewrite the species. You've seen what we could become. Aaron looked to Mira. Her eyes were steady. You already chose, Aaron. Now finish it. Aaron turned back, heart pounding. He raised his hand, glyphs glowing. Klein's smirk faded. You wouldn't, he growled. Aaron stepped closer. You built me to obey, but I evolved to defy. He pressed his hand to the core console beside the throne. The ship trembled. Systems cracked open. Streams of hidden data spilled into the void. Around the world, broadcasts interrupted, showing the truth, the manipulation, the history, the hybrids, the lies. Klein lunged, screaming. Mira fired. He fell, groaning. It was never about saving them, Aaron said. It was always about freeing them. Klein collapsed, sparks pouring from the implants in his spine. Aaron stood over him, chest rising and falling, glyphs slowly fading. Mira stepped beside him, breathing hard. He's done, she said. But the ship still rumbled. Not yet? Aaron whispered. He turned toward the throne's neural core. This vessel is connected to their network. If I stay, I can dismantle it from the inside. Mira froze. No, there has to be another way. Aaron smiled faintly. This is the other way. He embraced her, held tight. Tell the world the truth. Make them choose better. She looked at him, eyes wet. You're not coming back, are you? Aaron shook his head. Tell them I made a choice. Mira stepped back, silent. The ship sealed her in an escape pod and launched her away. As she fell back toward Earth, she saw the ship begin to disintegrate, light peeling from its hull. Inside, Aaron faced the neural core. Time to end the pattern, he said, and disappeared into light. The escape pod breached Earth's atmosphere in flames, cutting through the sky like a comet. Mira clutched the seat restraints, eyes locked on the dying light above. He's gone, she whispered. But even as the alien ship disintegrated, pulses of light shot toward orbiting satellites. Aaron's final act. The world below braced for chaos. Governments scrambled to regain control. Civil unrest ignited. But something else was happening. The data Aaron released spread like wildfire, disrupting AI systems, dismantling control networks, exposing classified truths. Screens around the world blinked with alien glyphs and human faces erased from history. Aaron had severed the neural link Klein used to manipulate global influence. Mira's pod landed hard in a field near a refugee zone. She stumbled out, smoke rising behind her, and collapsed into the arms of resistance fighters. One woman looked at her and said, "You're the one from the feed." Mira nodded, trembling. "I'm the witness," she said. "And I'm not done yet." The world reeled. Cities flickered under blackout. AI-driven commerce, transportation, and military control ceased. Broadcasts hijacked by Aaron's neural signature played on loop. Images of experimentation, betrayal, and human-alien collaboration spanning centuries. Riots exploded in financial districts. Protesters filled streets holding signs. "No more lies. We are not their code." Global leaders issued frantic denials, but their voices were drowned by public outcry. In underground bunkers, resistance cells mobilized. Mira, still battered, stood before a field tent full of leaders. "We have one chance," she said. "The alien fleet is still dormant, but not for long." She activated the last data Aaron sent her, a map of command beacons hidden in Earth's crust, nodes connecting the fleet to planetary control. "If we destroy these, we cut them off, for good," a grizzled commander asked. "And if we fail?" Mira stared at the map. "Then we lose Earth, not to an invasion, but to ourselves." The choice now belonged to humanity. Around the globe, strikes began. Targeted demolition teams, assisted by sympathetic insiders, moved to destroy the buried beacons. In Iceland, a glacier ruptured as explosives detonated beneath an ancient signal pylon. In Africa, an obelisk deep beneath the Sahara crumbled under concentrated EMP blasts. Mira coordinated every move. Her voice crackled across resistance radios. "Focus fire on the resonators. Ignore the towers. Go for the neural route." Meanwhile, satellites tried to reboot. Autonomous war drones activated in panic. Airborne skirmishes filled the skies. Human against machine. Friend against manipulated friend. But for the first time, Earth wasn't obeying. It was resisting. Mira watched from a mobile command vehicle, her fingers wrapped around a pendant Aaron once wore. "You're still here," she whispered. A young operative reported, "3 nodes down. 2 remain. We're holding the perimeter." Mira nodded. "Don't hold. Push." Outside, thunder split the sky. The war wasn't just above anymore. It was beneath their feet. The final beacon was hidden beneath New Santiago, once a corporate fortress, now a crumbling ruin. Resistance fighters battled drone units on shattered highways, while Mira led a small strike team underground. "This is it," she said, holding the final coordinates. Deep within a sub-basement flooded by time and rot, they found the monolith, identical to the one in Antarctica. It pulsed with familiar glyphs. Aaron's glyphs. "He's connected to this," Mira whispered. One operative asked, "Will it react?" Mira approached it cautiously, reached out, and the glyphs lit up. Her fingertips shimmered. "He left a failsafe," she said. But before they could activate it, a shadow moved. One of the strike team turned, eyes glowing gold. A sleeper agent. Shots fired. Screams echoed. Mira hit the floor, grazed. "No more control," she growled, activating the charge. The monolith screamed in light, fracturing the walls. As the ceiling caved in, she crawled toward the exit, knowing Earth was seconds away from freedom. From orbit, the change was immediate. The remaining beacon fractured, and the dormant fleet above Earth flickered, then went dark. Engines failed. Systems shut down. The ships, once lifeless sentinels, drifted in silence. Earth had disconnected from the control web. Mira emerged from the ruins, coughing, covered in blood and ash. The resistance stood around her, breathless. She looked up at the sky, where once fear hovered like a blade, now silence reigned. Around the world, the last drones shut down mid-flight, crashing harmlessly to Earth. Cities began to breathe again. But this wasn't victory. It was the beginning of a reckoning. Aaron's sacrifice had broken the cycle, but left a question. What do we become, now that we know the truth? Mira looked at the glyph burned into her hand. "You didn't die, Aaron," she whispered. "You became something bigger." Around her, people gathered, not as soldiers, but as survivors. Earth was free, but it was up to them to stay that way. 3 days after the beacons fell, Earth was silent, in a way it hadn't been in centuries. No signal interference. No false broadcasts. No lies. Cities across the globe stood still, paused in the unfamiliar absence of control. In a field outside the ruins of Berlin, Mira stood before a makeshift podium, addressing a crowd of thousands. Her voice trembled, not with fear, but with exhaustion. "The war is over," she said. Not with explosions, but with truth. Screens behind her showed Aaron's final transmission, looping across the planet. "He gave us a choice," she continued. "Not just to survive, but to decide who we are without them." In the crowd stood former soldiers, scientists, civilians, each changed, each carrying a piece of the burden. Some cheered. Some cried. Some stared upward, still waiting for something to fall. But nothing did. Above them, the dormant alien ships floated like hollow monuments. They were relics now. And Earth, for the first time, belonged entirely to itself. In the remains of the United Nations complex, emergency delegates gathered beneath broken glass and fire-scorched flags. The air was thick with distrust. "Who knew what, and for how long?" one representative shouted. Another replied, "This isn't the time for blame. It's the time for rebuilding." A third leaned forward. "We must draft a planetary constitution, not for power, but for protection." Mira sat among them, silent, watching. In her hand, she clutched Aaron's pendant, thumb rubbing its edges. "If we repeat what came before, we deserve what comes next," she said. The room fell silent. No one argued. Instead, a new idea took root: co-governance, decentralization, transparency. The ghost of the old world hung heavy in the room. But for the first time no one defended it. The table was full of former enemies, military, insurgent, scientists. And yet, for a breath they weren't adversaries. They were survivors. And Earth's future, cracked and fragile, began there, in that haunted hall. In the depths of a secured research facility, in what was once Alaska, a team unearthed a buried archive, the original lab where Aaron's bloodline had been modified generations ago. Inside, stasis pods, journals, and remnants of failed subjects. The lead scientist, trembling, turned to Mira. This is where it all began. She stepped forward, staring at a decayed pod labeled Subject 0. Erase it, she said. All of it. But another scientist interjected. If we study this, we could. Mira cut him off. We've had enough of what we could. With a nod, she authorized the vault's destruction. Explosives were placed. Before leaving, Mira knelt beside the pod and whispered, "Your pain didn't end here, but your legacy does." As the team exited, flames consumed the chamber. No records were saved. Nothing recovered. The past would remain buried. This wasn't erasure out of fear, but out of mercy. For the first time, Earth chose not to repeat its mistakes. In a remote forest, untouched by war or code, a child sat beneath the stars holding a handmade toy shaped like the alien ships. His mother, once a drone pilot, watched him in silence. "Do you think they'll come back?" he asked. She hesitated. "Maybe," she replied. "But not like before." The child looked upward, eyes wide with wonder, not fear. In the distance, fireflies blinked in rhythm, not unlike the glyphs that once haunted their skies. Across the world, fragments of alien technology were dismantled or repurposed, turned into energy converters, clean infrastructure, and learning centers. The world was healing not by erasing the alien remnants, but by transforming them. Mira visited a former impact site where children played in the shadow of a grounded vessel, now covered in vines. "We didn't win," she whispered. "We endured." A reporter nearby asked, "What comes next?" Mira looked down at her glowing palm, and then at the sky. "We remember, but we move forward." At last, in the void above Earth where silence now reigned, a signal pulsed one final time. Not a weapon, not a warning, a message, a memory. Somewhere deep within the scattered neural remains of Aaron's consciousness, something had survived. Not his body, but his imprint, his will. His sacrifice became part of the signal stream, reaching distant satellites, alien archives, unknown worlds. A final line encoded in the pulse. "We are not yours. We choose ourselves." Back on Earth, Mira walked alone through the ruins of Aaron's old apartment. Dust-covered monitors lined the desk. She sat where he once had, placing the pendant on the keyboard. It blinked. Once. Then again. No threat. Just presence. A soft pulse of light glowed from the monitor. A ripple, a reminder. Mira smiled through tears. "Goodbye, Aaron," she whispered. Or, maybe not. Outside, thunder rolled across the sky. Not ominous. Cleansing. The empire had fallen, but its memory remained, in the choice that saved a world.